we were talking about Photoshop last time, right?
Yeah.
And you have some sort of situation with Khloe or what's going on?
Yeah. So I don't know if you guys ever noticed Khloe's Instagram, but she always, people will notice that her face looks different.
She looks different every single time.
Yeah. Like people notice her face looks different every time. Everything is like overly edited and, super polished and everything, right? So she went on vacation with her family recently. And her grandma was just like, sitting by the pool and she just snaps a picture of Khloe. And Khloe just stands there and smiles and she took this picture.
Her grandma?
Her grandma, MJ.
Oh. I don't think I've ever seen the Kardashian grandma.
MJ.
I don't know what that is.
Oh, well, so
Pull up a picture.
MJ went and she posted on her Instagram, was just like, my Khloe, right? Khloe went and she got a whole team to scrub that picture clean of the internet because it hadn't been photoshopped.
Jeez.
Right?
What was the picture?
So I have it right here.
Wait, so she told her grandma, hey, delete this? And then now
because
that's all
people
over the
started
internet?
screenshotting it, right? And it's honestly not even a bad picture.
Okay.
So this was a picture that her grandma posted.
I can't look at this right now, Amber. I'm
okay,
on a
but
fast.
look at it objectively.
Showing me bikini pictures. I'm not looking at it objectively.
Don't look at it objectively.
Put your attentions in the right place and just understand that it's not about
lower your gaze. No.
Bro, the whole picture is like that. What are you talking about? It's literally a bikini
it's
picture.
Her in a bikini.
You can't lower your gaze anywhere.
It's her in a bikini. Obviously, it's not like top tier lighting, and it's not like
Describe it to the
honestly.
listening
Her
audience
body
anyways.
looks really good. Like personally, I think it looks great.
It's a bikini photo taken on the
regular
Motorola Razr.
Yeah, it's just like a not super like high quality photo, and maybe her face doesn't look like all of her Instagram
Did she
pictures.
clock her grandma after that? Like, you don't know I photoshopped my pics. You can't be throwing this out, grandma.
Right. So there was this huge problem that happened where Khloe and her family basically sent all these things to scrub this picture and clear from the internet, right? Mm-hmm. And so people were like, okay, like Khloe, like, and they pulled up pictures of her from that same day, and they're like, this picture was taken the same day.
Amber, stop showing me the pics. I don't need to see the pics.
Okay, I was just trying
to describe the situation.
Yeah, FARAS is unable to control himself.
Basically, the picture that she posted herself was a lot smoother. It had
show us on the picture. Let me see how.
More
let me see his
sharper
control.
features.
Okay.
It was just sharper features, better lighting, all that type of stuff. So then everybody started getting on Khloe, like, oh, Khloe, you're trying to get this thing removed from the internet and da-da-da-da-da, right? So then Khloe went and she posted a live video.
Tommy, are you looking up the pictures?
I'm looking at her grandma's Instagram. I don't know if this is her official Instagram.
MJ?
Is it? It only has like 1,800 followers.
Mary Jo, yeah, that seems like it's her, but I don't know if that's her
No
official
way,
Instagram.
1,800?
Yeah, it's not that.
No, it's verified, isn't it?
No, that's not verified.
I mean,
her
name is Mary Jo, so yeah.
It's a random.
So anyways, she went ahead and posted on her Instagram this video of her live, right? Because people are like, oh, like she photoshops everything, nothing's real, blah, 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 blah. So she posted a live video of her body. And she's like, hey guys, this is me. And she put out a statement with it too. I guess because she heard. She's like, hey guys, this is me and my body unretouched and unfiltered. The photo that was posted this week is beautiful, but someone who has struggled with their body image their whole life, when someone takes a photo of you that isn't flattering, in bad lighting, or doesn't capture your body the way it is after working hard to get to that point, then it shares to the whole world. You have every right to ask for it to be not shared, regardless of who you are. In truth, the pressure, constant ridicule, judgment my entire life to be perfect and meet other standards of how I should look has been too much to bear. Khloe, quote unquote, Khloe's the fat sister. Khloe's the ugly sister. Her dad must be different or not the real dad because she looks so different. The only way she could have lost weight was because of surgery. Should I go on? Then she goes on to say that for over a decade, she's been like microanalyzed and always compared to her sisters, and that she's always felt that pressure. And she ended off by saying that she loves a good filter, good lighting, edit here and there, and she likes getting glammed. At the end of the day, my body, my image, and how I choose to look and what I want to share is my choice. It's not for anyone to decide what is acceptable or not anymore. So it sparked this conversation online of, is Khloe allowed to use that excuse of, I've been constantly compared to these higher beauty standards and my sisters and da-da-da-da-da, when the Kardashians themselves are the ones who created the beauty standards without disclosing the fact that they have had work done. What is your guys' opinion?
Who cares?
Do you think that the Kardashians have the right to complain about something like that when they have been active in creating beauty
They have the right to
standards?
do whatever they want.
Mm-hmm.
By people, talking about it and caring about it, and then, sparking this conversation in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
We're giving them that value, and making this whole thing like a bigger deal than it is. People do that. Like, it's not just the Kardashians. People do that.
Mm-hmm.
If you have an image, we got a photographer in our community that shows up at every event. He's snapping photos and taking unflattering photos all the time. I'll be eating a burger or something, like mid eating, he's taking photos and stuff. Those photos are up. And yeah, like I wouldn't have posted that,
Mm-hmm.
but it's like, okay, yeah, like that's me eating. Oh, well, I look like that, but I also look like this. I also have some really great photos where it's superposed and, like things around it are photoshopped or whatever else. And all of that exists. You know what I mean? Like it's up to you to decide, how you carry yourself and if that's going to affect you. I think people should be looking at more at that. Like, how does this affect me rather than like, oh, what does this mean for Khloe? Is she allowed to do that? Is she not allowed to? Because she's going to feel how she feels.
I think that's a good conversation though, because if the Kardashians are the ones who have created the beauty standards, at least for the last decade or two, the ones that are creating the small waist, big body that is unrealistic to the general population, and then to go turn around and say that, here, like you guys are like coming at me for wanting this picture clean on the internet, but I have beauty standards to live up to. Well, you're the one who created them and you're the one who's being compared to the beauty standards that you set.
Yeah. So now they can possibly see how it affects so many other people.
But is it her specifically or the family? Because she might be pressured from the family.
Well, she also has done a lot of procedures and she's also been, done a lot of things and they never disclose it. For example, when the Kardashians share a natural fresh face selfie, that does not include the Botox, the filler, the thousands of dollars of facials that go into maintaining that skin. And then it sets up an example to the Gen Pop of, hey, this is a fresh face selfie and my skin is flawless. My lips are always plush. My under eye bags aren't there. Like there's a lot of filler in that face. There's a lot of all these things. So when you go back to say like, you guys compare me to everybody and I've always been compared in this way and that way, you guys are the reason why it's set. I think it's a fair debate.
She's clearly still struggling with insecurities.
For sure.
Well, there's also that, but think about it this way. Like she is the individual. Like that might be her small bit of speaking out on, hey, all this stuff that we're doing, she's kind of a victim of it too. Because it might be the rest of the family. It might be the mother that's doing all this, putting all the kids through the trouble.
Well,
we don't know any of that.
Like
speculation, of course, right?
Yeah,
and that's what we're discussing now is just based off of what we have. And I think it's fair to say that Khloe does get the most wrath for being the fat sister. You hear that all the time about Khloe, but it's also a good conversation to be like, well, you fed into those and you did those procedures and you did all of that. And so when you are compared, it's because those are the standards you set.
Yeah. I think again, if she's going through that, she's going through that.
Mm-hmm.
That's her insecurity. That's her battle. If this is her way of coming out and either, whether you see it as excusing it or having a reason for it, that's her business. And she's going to feel how she feels regardless.
Mm-hmm.
I look at any of these sisters from this family, anyone from this family, and I'm like, is there any benefit I get from this? Whether it be entertainment, comedy, business ideas, overall, just how they are as people. And Khloe, she happens to be funny. She does cool things, whatever. That's the only way that I'm, I guess, seeing her, whatever. But I'm not going to judge her for her battle.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody battles with appearance at different levels in different ways. And you get to a point where you're comfortable with yourself, and no matter where you're seen, how you're seen, and it's free, it's true freedom. I don't know if I'm all the way there yet, but I could say I'm really happy that I'm at a place where I once was not, growing up, being different than everybody else, having features that seem embarrassing at the time to be of South Asian descent. And then to be proud of it later on and not care about it at all and be like, yo, this is me and I love me. And it's amazing. Like that sort of thing is something that I know that not everybody has gone through or is at yet. Everybody's on their own journey.
Yeah.
When you step away from social media, like it's a beautiful thing. Like none of that stuff exists.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And-
but also you don't have like 50 million people who have seen you, compared you, seen your different faces and all of that. So it's a fair comparison to say that it doesn't affect you, and you're able to accept it. However, that like a huge part of her like persona is her look, her face.
That's what I'm saying.
That's what
Her
they have.
battle is
She's
different.
not a singer. She's not an artist. She's not like offering a talent. It is their looks. It is their like fashion and, you know, beauty inspo that they provide to the world that they're offering. That's all they really have to offer.
I just don't like, there's no need to either be like, oh, I feel sorry for this, or that I like, am against it because whatever. It's just like, it is what it is. These are conscious choices that they make.
Like an equivalent thing would be like if somebody constantly came at like compared like you and SHAH-AMEER, like in
They
the
do.
public eye.
They
right.
do.
But
They're
times
like-
a million. And
They're
they're
like, you're better than SHAH-AMEER. I'm like, yes.
Yeah,
this
but-
is factual. No.
But imagine
Ladies, you're both pretty.
Imagine there's like, for example, there's like three of us, right?
Yeah.
Imagine if one of us was constantly like, they are the worst one of them all. They are the worst one of, and that to us would be, you know, doing something that's creative. To them, that is their beauty.
I see like a huge similarity with like bodybuilders that take steroids. Like they'll inject themselves with steroids. They'll work out a ton. They'll look in their eyes like the best that they've ever looked. And then after, you know, a few years, they don't take it as often and they start looking like crap and they get super insecure, but then they start going to the gym and then they start wanting to take steroids more until it's like, it affects them deeply. And obviously they do it for show, for bodybuilding competitions, for pictures, all that stuff. Their whole brand and business is based off of how they look. And I see like, you know, a huge similarity between that. Like they've essentially built themselves to be dragged down in the future just so they can look good for a little bit.
Looks are something different than what you were describing though. You know, like if somebody says that they're the worst ones, what are they the worst ones as? As appearance? As
no, but that's what I'm saying.
talent?
It's what you have to offer to the world, right?
Yeah.
That's the most valuable thing that she has to offer to the world.
So,
As a fan, like that's what a lot of them look at. It's like, what are the Kardashians? They are the like beauty and fashion icons. That's what they offer. So for us, it's like, okay, what are we offering? Imagine that thing that you're offering to the world being like scrutinized and you being the worst of your like group.
Yeah, Victoria's Secret
It's the
models,
game.
the modeling industry, all that. Now we're looking at it and we're like, hey, you don't have to be that skinny. You don't have to be this. So
And the plus size model was skinnier than me. She was.
Really?
Yeah, the plus size model
Wow.
they had.
is that inspirational?
No.
you plus size.
That's really sad. I've never ever thought of myself as plus size.
But it's moving in that direction, right?
No, Amber, I've definitely seen there's like some heavy girls that are like, you know, being showcased.
Not in Victoria's Secret.
Oh, not in Victoria's. Okay.
No, no, Victoria's Secret.
But in other, like, why?
They said that they don't want fat people like to represent them because that's not who they're like marketing to.
Did anybody cancel Victoria's Secret?
They've
they canceled-
tried.
Okay.
They try. But
But-
they can't, right? It's
Yeah,
too
it's
big.
like Victoria's Secret's too well known.
I don't know, man. I guess like it's her brand, so it makes sense that like, you know, it affects her brand negatively or whatever. But when it comes to things that affect you mentally so bad, like that, if that's not good for you to begin with, then is it worth it?
Yeah.
We will find out in the afterlife.
There we go.
The truth.
Yeah.
Is that what you wanted out of the conversation?
I just wanted to see your guys' point of view because I saw a lot of like celebrities and like even like Andrew Schultz and stuff brought it up on his podcast. Like,
Oh,
you know,
yeah,
like,
yeah.
like
They'd be roasting her.
yeah,
Yeah,
they're
like-
flaming.
like, you know, and it's a huge conversation on TikTok too. And I'm kind of stuck in the middle. So I just wanted to bring it to
Oh,
the
you're
podcast.
in the middle.
I'm hardcore
Okay.
in the middle because like I'm playing that side of, you know, that extreme so I can bring it to the podcast and, you know, maybe
Yeah.
the audience can, you know, give their feedback as well. Because I do see how you want to she didn't solely create it. It was her sister's, and now she has to be as good. Like, I feel really bad for Rob Kardashian.
I just noticed you have the crying Kim socks
Oh
on.
yeah, I do have the crying Kim socks on. Yeah. But
All
like,
of them.
yeah, I would feel so bad for Rob, like, too, you know? It's
Why? Because he's like not the attractive one.
He
or
has like severe depression and like stays out of the public eye and stuff too, because of the fact that he doesn't keep up with the Kardashians. He can't keep up with the Kardashians keeping it. No, okay.
With anything you do in life, if you don't have balance, moderation, these things, it will affect you.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what happens. And so anybody who is like going down this beauty industry lane, I think it's important to be aware of what are, you know, the risks of it.
Mm-hmm.
Just like any other, you know, thing that you do. Us, you know, as creators, having our stuff be out there in the public, we have to be ready for scrutiny, for criticism, for all of that.
Yeah.
This is what we signed up for. But also having a balance where I can shut it all off when I'm at my house, spending time with my family, when I'm with loved ones in the community, doing anything good, where I don't have to pull out a camera, where I don't have to do anything but be in the present moment.
Yeah.
And knowing that this is who I am and not who I have, you know, shown myself to be. And if I have shown myself to be a certain way, if that's my brand, if it's affecting me to a level where I have to change myself or people perceive me differently, then I need to take a step back and reevaluate the things that I am consciously deciding to be a part of. Because nobody gets to decide it at the end of the day but you. And if you let it get that far, then, you know, you have to kind of take responsibility for that as well. Yeah. And what, like by
the
Khloe,
persona that you put out too.
By Khloe saying the message that she has, this is going to negatively affect little girls as well, where they're going to say, oh, it's okay because she is beauty.
And even in the statement to say that what she has done, she worked for, you're making it seem like your body was attainable. It is not. That was work. That was money. This was her opportunity to say, hey, like, I have, you know, done so many things to try to fit in, and I know what it's like to feel the pressure. But instead you say, I work so hard to get where I am and be in the figure that I am, and it all paid off. And
well, isn't it like you work hard to get the money to buy those things? Isn't that like also a way of working hard too?
For sure. But the statement that she makes, or the way that I took it, was I worked hard to make my body the way it is, to have this flat stomach and this voluptuous butt and like whatever. Your proportions aren't normal. They're not. And it's impossible for most people. If you want to look at a natural body, and it's funny because people have the most to say about this person, it's Megan Thee Stallion. The reason why she's able to have those proportions is because she does have some, like, she isn't like caving in at the stomach. She isn't having the thinnest arms and then like a diaper butt. Like, that's a realistic picture.
Diaper butt.
Yeah, like
an ant butt.
Yeah, that's a realistic person is Megan Thee Stallion. That's no work. That's all natural. But you here got a lot of work done, and then you say that it was only attainable through the hard work that you did.
Shout out to the Kardashians, man. I hope they find peace for real.